Okay, I'm going to come back to the question. The question is awareness all there is? Now, so it's Ilse. So Ilse, I don't want to answer this question theoretically, because a theoretical question only addresses the mind and does not go deeply. It doesn't touch the core. It doesn't bring understanding. It just stays at the surface. So I'd like to look at the question by going directly to awareness. So instead of talking about awareness as some concept or some idea or some experience in the future or some experience in the past, I would like to go right now to our current experience right now, because right now is real. Whatever it is, when I say right now, I'm not pointing to anything specific like this screen or this table or the trees outside. I am talking about the presence right now, the wholeness of this experience right now. There is something right now that is real, although the content keeps changing, although the perceptions keep changing, although the feelings, the thoughts, the sensations keep changing. Irrespective of those changes, there is something that is not a thing right here, right now, that we know, not in our thinking, but we know it in our being, that is a reality to this experience. So there is right now a reality to this experience, a reality that the form keeps changing, but there is a reality. The reality doesn't change. There is an unchanging quality, an unchanging presence, an unchanging awareness, an unchanging beingness to this very moment. And this unchanging presence is not in any object, is not in any perception, is not in any thought, does not move, does not come and go, although the thoughts come and go, the feelings come and go, the sensations come and go. That presence, that awareness, that beingness, the reality of this experience does not come and go. So I like to address your question, is awareness all there is? From that place, from the reality, and not from the thoughts that keep changing. So from the reality, we step into the motionless, we step into the eternal, we step into that is real. And that is real, Ilse, is what hears these words right now. Before being a man or a woman, before being tall or short, before being from Costa Rica or from Lebanon or from New York, before that added characteristic that keeps changing from mind to mind, The presence that is real to this experience is whatever it is that perceives this perception, that hears these words. And you know this presence because you are it. You are this presence. It is like the wide open sky that's infinite, borderless, that has no beginning and no ending. And yet clouds appear in it. And the clouds take on a variety of shapes. They can appear in the shape of dragons, or they can appear in the shape of angels. But the sky, meaning the infinite space of presence, remains unmoved and undisturbed. And that space, that presence is aware. It perceives, it is a knowing presence. It knows the objects, it knows the world, it knows the world through perceptions. It knows the body through sensations. And it knows the mind through thinking. So it is a knowing presence that knows the world, the body, and the mind. But it also is self-knowing, meaning you know that you are aware. You know that you are, meaning you know presence, and you know that you are aware, meaning you know that there is a knowingness. So yes, reality, meaning whatever it is that perceives this perception right now, whatever it is that is not a form, and yet you cannot take it out of any experience. You cannot take awareness out of any experience. Like right now, effortlessly, awareness is present, and it is through awareness that there is understanding, that there is perception, that there is knowing. If you take the awareness out right now, somehow, which is impossible, but let's imagine that you would, you take everything out, meaning you take the world out, you take this body out, you take this perception out, you take the sensation out. So the point that I'm trying to make is that awareness is ever present. It is eternal. It is like the canvas. When you are painting, you have a canvas. You cannot paint without a canvas. Or a screen. The images appear on the screen. You cannot have images without the screen. Like this television screen right now, this computer screen right now, the image, actually, when you're looking at the image, you're looking at the screen. So it's the screen that takes on the form of the image. So consciousness or awareness or presence or beingness, in religious terms we say God, takes on all forms but remains formless. And God or presence is the reality of all experiences. It is the reality of what hears these words right now. It is the reality of every perception, of every sensation, of every thought. So yes, you can say that awareness is all there is. But it is not a personal awareness. And that's the beauty of it. Because if it was a personal awareness, then we have to maintain it, make sure we don't lose it. It's not a personal awareness. This awareness is borderless. It's not contained inside of your skull. It's not contained inside of your skin. It is not contained inside of your room. It's not contained inside of your house or your village or your city or your country or your galaxy or your universe or your cosmos. It is not contained. It is not only eternal, but it's also infinite. It's so beautiful. The eternity and infinity of consciousness is so beautiful, because that is what freedom is. The experience of freedom is complete causelessness. Nothing causes awareness, but nothing is possible without awareness. You could say that awareness causes all things, if you want to use that term. I usually don't use the term causality, but since I already used it now, so might as well. I already put my foot in it, you know. So you could say that everything is caused by consciousness, but nothing causes consciousness. Nothing causes awareness. It's sort of a one-direction relationship where the light of awareness shines onto the world, but the world does not shine any light. The world only reflects the light, like the moon. The moon reflects the light of the sun. So at night, when you look up at the moon, it seems that the moon is shining, while in fact it is the sun that is shining. So the object is not aware. In other words, the object does not shine a light onto. It reflects the light. But I should add here, Ilse, that in this metaphor, the impression is that the sun and the moon are different. I would like to clarify that in this very moment, the awareness of this perception, and this perception, meaning the perceived image, are not apart. That's very important to understand and to experience. That right now, what you as awareness, you as consciousness, what you perceive, you are perceiving your perception of this screen. You are hearing your hearing of this voice. You are perceiving your perception of this image. Your perception is made out of yourself, intimately as one. In the same way that in the night dream, when you are in the night dream, and you dream that you are a five-year-old girl walking on the beach, that girl and the beach, your night dream, are made out of yourself. They are intimately one, made out of yourself. Like ice is made out of water, or steam is made out of water. They're intimately, ice and water are one. So the forms are intimately one with the consciousness that creates them. That is the experience of non-duality. The experience of non-duality is I am the world, body, mind. Not I perceive the world, body, mind, but I perceive myself. Consciousness, awareness experiences itself, because whatever is the reality of the objective world, if the objective world is real, there is also the reality of consciousness. This is the first reality. Sorry, one moment. Yes. The reality of consciousness is the reality of this moment, whatever it is that perceives this perception. And if the world, the objective world, meaning what we perceive, has a reality, it has to be the reality of consciousness. Because there is only one reality. There isn't two realities, a reality A and a reality B. The reality of the world, the reality of the body, the reality of the mind, and a separate reality, the reality of consciousness. Because, as I was saying yesterday in the Hangout, if there were two realities, if we assume that there were two realities, then what would know that? There has to be a super reality, like another reality that's bigger than reality A and reality B, that perceives both of them. And that reality would say, oh, well, there are two realities, A and B. But actually, when it perceives realities A and B, it establishes itself as the one reality. So there is just one reality, and the reality of the world is made out of the same reality, that consciousness, that one reality. And the experience of that is available to you when you turn your attention away from your belief systems. When you turn yourself away from all the stuff that you learned, and when you turn away from the feelings and the emotions that are in your body, because what you have learned all these years has also... Hello, Laina!
Oh boy, that was fascinating.
Laina, you made it!
I've been working on it for
you did good. You did good.
That was crazy.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me just get back to what I was saying, if I can remember what I was saying.
You have to turn yourself away.
Come again, Dolores, help me out.
You said you have to turn yourself away from feelings and emotions.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Dolores. That's very helpful. Because, you know, it's not just that we believe, that there are all sorts of beliefs about what I am, what the world is, and what my life is, and all of that. But also, these beliefs have inhabited our body-mind. In other words, they have settled in the body as me, as a me sensations and me feelings. And these me sensations and me feelings, now that inhabit the body, they arise as emotions when life doesn't go our way. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Lynn. I see that you joined. I see your image. I don't see. So I see sort of live. Welcome. So these belief systems have also inhabited our body at the cellular level, and so in the exploration of the our non-dual experience is important not only to shed the light, not only to investigate our belief systems, but also it's very important to investigate our feeling states and to release in the body those contractions that maintain the sense of me. There are two main levels, two main dimensions in the body that relate to ignorance, meaning that relate to the belief that I am a separate body-mind and that I am not divine consciousness. First, there is the general sense, which is, I refer to it as the me sense, or the me feeling. There is a general me feeling in the space, in the body space. This me feeling, we got so used to it that we don't notice it anymore. But it's there. It's like having a virus. You don't notice the virus, but it's there. You only notice it when it flares up. But it's there in the system. It's there. The me feeling is this general sense of malaise, a sense of dis-ease and discomfort, a general, not a specific, a general discomfort about life, about the world, about my marriage, about my job, about my parents, my whatever, you know, it's just a general annoyance, sort of, not a big time annoyance, just sort of a hum. And that me feeling, that sense of a general sense of dis-ease, spoils the party. It's party pooper. It interferes with our joy and our freedom and happiness. Oh yes, Paula. I'm sorry. Paula just sent me a message. Yes, Paula. You need to install the plugin. And if you hear me, Paula, yeah, go to your if you go to your Google Plus page and go into the right bottom section corner, you will see that there is a Hangout, start a Hangout button. Press that, and it will lead you to installing the plugin. I'm sorry, I'm learning about this myself as we go, so bear with me. So that's one of the dimensions of ignorance at the feeling level. The other dimension are specific patterns, specific reactions that have been stored also in the body that are specific to our particular upbringing. If we're brought up by a father that used to yell and mother that, you know, didn't give us enough love, or if we're brought up with a lot of brothers and sisters and there was all sorts of, you know, antagonism, and so there are specific conditions to every one of us that are particular to our culture, to our familiar upbringing, to our particular sensitivity, to various circumstances and situations that we have experienced that maybe they were a little bit traumatic to us, etc. And these also are stored in the body. You don't see them usually, but when somebody cuts you off in traffic, you might, right, this is, so that's where that particular reaction will arise. Or if, for example, you expect your partner at home when you come home that he or she greets you in a certain way, and I don't know, they're in a different mood for whatever reason, they don't greet you that way. You feel unloved maybe, or you feel betrayed, or you feel that something is wrong, and is some sort of dispute that flares up. So hello Suresh. Yes, hello Suresh, I see you joined us. Welcome. So these emotions have a higher volume, they have a higher peak than the general sense of dis-ease, of malaise, the general me feeling. Hello, Lynn. Lynn is writing a note. I'm not sure if everybody's seeing it, so I'm going to read it. I feel it in the body first, but the thought comes before that. Lynn, in terms of what comes first, the body sensation or the thought is like a chicken and, what is it, chicken and egg, or is that the chicken and the egg, the cart or the horse, it's really immaterial, because both areas, Lynn, both at the thought level, meaning the I thought being the thought that is rooted in the belief that I am a mortal body mind that is separate from the world, that I am a me and you are a you, I'm a man and you're a woman, etc. So the exploration, the inquiry, the contemplation has to take place both at the thought level, meaning in the belief system level, and at the body level. And both are equally important, except that at the feeling level is more massive. Let's say that because the body is more permanent, the body feelings are closer to us than the thoughts. Like, thoughts are more fleeting. You think about what are you going to have for dinner tonight, and 3 minutes later you're thinking about watering your garden. 5 minutes later you're thinking about writing a letter to your mom. Whatever. Thoughts they're more fleeting, while the body sensations, they're more present. If you have like an ache in your chest or your neck or your head or your face or your belly, it's more stubborn. It hangs around more than the thought. So, but yet they're connected. You see, they're connected. But at the body level, releasing the contraction, relaxing the sensation in the body. It's a very it goes a long way. It goes a long way, because if you have a discomfort, let's say in your belly, and you're able to sort of give it the space, give it infinite space, just be so relaxed in it, so present to it, so available to it, so uninterfering. I don't mean, I'm not talking about like if it is something that requires medical attention. I'm talking about this me sense in the body. Then that relaxes, and this relaxation goes a long way in that you will sink into it. You will sink into the relaxation. So there is one of the ways of looking at an emotion, because an emotion, again, talking about at the body level, an emotion is like a high flare out of a bodily sensation But this flare out of the bodily sensation in the emotion has a me quality to it. Why did he or she do that to me? How dare they do that to me? They should know better. This is invariably the emotion has a me and a him or a me and a her. Why did she leave me? After all I've done for her, after all what I have sacrificed for them, why, how do they dare do that to me? So an emotion, if you deconstruct it a little bit, and it's very important in inquiry to take a close look, to not to just look at the forest from the distance. You have to sort of take a close look to become clear about what is the situation. As you look closer at an emotion, and I'm suggesting, I'm making this suggestion so maybe you can explore that in your own space whenever that becomes available to you. When you look at an emotion, you will find that it is basically a bodily sensation. It's a bodily sensation that has, in general, specific location. It varies from person to person, and it varies from emotion to emotion. An emotion of anger, an emotion of jealousy, the emotion of envy, whatever, all these emotions, they have specific locations in the body. And if you go to that location in the body, that requires a certain attention. You have to sort of be interested in not just acting out your emotion, but in understanding your emotion. So when there is an interest in understanding your emotion, you pause, you become quiet. It might be difficult in the beginning, and I was only one. I'm sorry, one moment. I think. Sorry for this interruption, Gonzalo. Oh, okay, Gonzalo. I'm glad I don't see you, Gonzalo. Nice to know that you're there. There is a plugin that needs to be installed. Maybe we'll talk about that later. So you can deconstruct the emotion in sensation and the me, the sense of me, and the me thought, the I thought. If you can do that, it's very interesting, because as you're looking at the emotion and you're getting closer to it, you're introducing into the emotion a new, well, it's not so new, but it might seem new, a new player. You're introducing consciousness. Actually, it's always around, but it seems that it's not. But for now, let's just stay with that. You're introducing the witness. You're introducing the impartial scientist, the impartial observer, who is purely interested. So interest is scientific type of interest is very, very beautiful, because it is void of a personal agenda. When the interest is void of a personal agenda, it has an impersonal agenda. The impersonal agenda is not limited. So when a scientist is looking at a question, he's not trying to attain anything for himself or herself. They really want to get to the core of their understanding. They want to come to the core of the truth. So in the same way, when you approach an emotion, and it is possible. It might not seem possible initially, but you have to be open to the possibility that yes, it is possible to approach an emotion from a witnessing position. Because, when you say, God, I was really angry yesterday, what you are saying is that you were a witness to that anger. Because if you were not a witness, you wouldn't even know that you were angry. So you already are a witness. I'm just inviting you to pay attention to the witness. Lynn just wrote me, so if my body is relaxed, I may not have the fear or anger thoughts. You're right. Yes. You know what happened, Lynn, is very beautiful at the body level when you relax the body and you release that contraction and it relaxes the brain. All the electrical signals that are producing the whole thought pattern also relaxes. It's as if it dissolves. You have to experiment with it and see. At the body level, working at the body level is working at what is the closest sense of separation. What is the most present sense of separation? And then you ask, how do you make that shift? Then this shift comes as a result of our interest. Because we are interested. We are interested in the truth. We love the truth. We're scientists. We're scientists of sorts. But we're studying the self. We're studying reality, not the physical reality. We're studying the reality of our experience, what our experience is, which is real. Right now, this moment, this experience, whatever you call it, is real. So the shift comes from the interest in our experience in this moment. When you look at this moment, you find the reality. There is a reality, and this reality is not the screen, because the screen in 1 hour, it's gone. When the hangout is over, I'm having dinner with Tara, it's all. So you say, well, what is the reality then to this moment? And as you look, you will find the reality of this moment is the consciousness, is the presence, is that is present in every situation. It's present when you wake up in the morning, it's present at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, and that is presence. So when you become interested in presence, Lynn, you're becoming interested in witnessing, because presence has a witnessing quality. It has an awareness quality. It has an intelligence quality. It has a love quality. It has a borderless quality. It has a lot of beautiful qualities, presence. And of its own, as a result of our interest in the truth, our interest in our experience, we become interested in our behavior and our thinking, our actions, in the emotions and all of that. So Lynn writes, so to deny the feeling I don't like is not helpful. No denying. You're right. To accept and investigate is helpful. Yes, Lynn, I usually don't talk so much about denying or accepting, because it's just a lot of talk. How can you deny? When we say I'm denying something, it's as if we're erasing something. You cannot erase anything. How can you? What hasn't appeared, what hasn't occurred is not real and is not, and what is already. I don't know if I'm expressing myself clearly. You can't really erase or add anything. You cannot remove or add anything to anything. It's because it's a wholeness. There is a wholeness that is so real in the thinking. We think, oh well, I'm going to ignore that, or you know, but still remaining with your question, yes, nothing to be denied, because sometimes we are so frustrated. We're so frustrated with our life, with what's happening, that we want love, we want to experience happiness, which is you know, very, it's beautiful. Wanting to experience happiness is beautiful, but we go to maybe drinking alcohol, or we go to overeating or eating, or we go to sexual, in other words, we turn our attention to an object, we turn our attention to something that is impermanent, and all what we get is a temporary happiness, and our sensors get that happiness, but because it doesn't last. I mean, how long can you be drunk, or how much can you eat, how much can you have sex? Because it doesn't last, then the sensors go back to their unhappiness. But there is an extension. When the sensors release, now they want they want more. What satisfied them before, which was maybe one drink, now they want 2 drinks. So they have those 2 drinks, and the same thing happens. And when they relax, the senses relax again. Now they've extended even more. Now they want 3 drinks. Maybe I'm getting on a tangent with your question. But yes, it is not about denying any feelings, but to investigate. Yes, to investigate. It's very important to look at whatever arises, not through any label. In other words, it's not very helpful to say, well, you know, I am angry, I am this, I am that. No, instead, to look in the quiet, from the stillness. Looking from the stillness is very different from looking from the mind. Because when you look from the stillness, you already have invited the stillness, and the stillness goes into the entire experience and purifies it and clarifies it. So when there is an emotion or a feeling or something that is arising, just be still. It's very important. Be still. And also notice that whenever there is a negative emotion, there is a me story, a me and you. Me and him, me and her. And notice that whenever you are happy, there is no me and you story going on. It's just peace. And not my peace and your peace. No, it's just peace. Everything is beautiful and lovely. And everybody is sweet and everything is sweet. And so when you notice that, whenever there is a contraction, there is a me and a you story, it's important that you don't take it a step further. Don't continue down that path, because it's an unhappy path. It's unhappy across the board, unhappy for everyone. It's a lose situation. So don't follow that path. Instead, just open your heart and love everything. Love even that feeling of discomfort. That feeling of discomfort, you can bathe it in love. Because love is bigger than everything, and it embraces everything. It loves everything, and it provides. Oh, hello, Ilse. I see you. Hello. Uh, I hope I hope you got the answer to your question that you asked earlier. But if you did not, this hangout is recorded. Hello, and so you can listen to it again. And so yeah, in the entire exploration of our true nature is the path of love. It is the path of peace, the path of happiness and peace. It is the openness, and everything that occurs, everything that unfolds in the love, unfolds in the openness. As you continue in your exploration, it will become more and more clear to you that the sense of separation is so unreal. It's built onto false premises. But our experience is wholeness. Our true experience is wholeness. And whatever sense of limitation or whatever thoughts of limitation that you perceive that arise for you, they arise in the openness, in the borderless, aware presence that you are. Like these very words right now, you hear them in your openness. You hear them in your borderlessness. You hear them in your infinity. It is the heart that hears, that perceives, that senses, that loves. So you could say it's the heart that hears. And the heart is infinite. It's uncontained. It's eternal. It's infinite. That's truly what we are. And those qualities of truth, those qualities of presence, those qualities of reality, those qualities of divine qualities, they're eternal. Nothing touches them. It's just that our attention, out of habit, has been turned towards me and you and my money and my house and my job and my retirement and like I was saying before, the unhappiness of the I thought, of the me and the world out there, me and you, me and this, what's going to happen to me tomorrow? And then sorry, hello, Lee. Lee, one moment, sorry to interrupt. The the Hangout is going on right now. Okay, just send the. Okay, I'm receiving messages. Yes, you're correct, Lynn. Even when we are high or when we are drunk or whatever, the problem is still there. It's only covered or repressed. Yes, it's a temporary anesthesia. You cannot live your life happy and in anesthesia. The life is a celebration. Is when you wake up, you know, there are your friends, there is the neighbors, there is a wonderful meal, there is your partner. It's a lot of beauty and joy in life. So life is a celebration. Oh, excuse me, one moment again. Okay, hello Lee, okay. So you could consider that life, meaning the awake state right now, is like a dream that consciousness is having. But why not have a happy dream? And the happy dream is not possible for a separate person. We've already tried happiness as a separate person. It doesn't produce the happiness. Why? Because as soon as you are a separate person, you detach yourself from the whole. You've detached yourself as if a child has detached themselves from their mother, and they're unhappy. They need their mother, because happiness is the wholeness. Happiness is the wholeness. Naturally, when the baby comes out, immediately he or she goes to mama's breast. It's this oneness. And in the womb, it's just a divine beingness. This oneness is the happiness. Whenever you detach yourself, you separate yourself, there is unhappiness. And in any case, detachment or separation is an illusion. Because how can you separate yourself right now from your experience? Impossible. How can you say my experience is incomplete? What makes this moment incomplete? Tell me. So if thought might arise, say, oh, this is incomplete, I need to have I need to be at the beach. But that thought arises, you perceive it. So you, which is the completeness, perceive this thought. Like when you perceive a tree. Let's say that you perceive a tree. And on the tree it's written, oh, you should be at the beach. So you look at the tree and you see somebody carved on the tree, you should be at the beach. So you look at the tree and says, oh, you should be at the beach. Are you going to all of a sudden feel unhappy? Are you going to become incomplete? Unhappiness is only the result of the belief that you are immortal body-mind. Yeah, Lynn just wrote, now is all there is. I cannot make now different. Yes. Now is all there is. You cannot make it different. And now is wholeness. Now is totality. Now is not in time. Time arises in now. You see? Now is consciousness. Now is awareness, is presence. Whatever it is that hears these words, there is nothing incomplete about hearing these words. Again, the sense of incompleteness comes from the belief that I am a mortal body-mind, that I am the body. And you are not the body. The body is the body. You're not a woman. The body is a woman. The body is female or male. You are not a male or a female. The body is. You perceive the body. You perceive the body as bodily sensations. You perceive bodily sensations. But you are not the bodily sensations. You perceive the bodily sensations. You perceive perceptions. You perceive a tree, but you are not a tree. The tree depends on your perception, on you to perceive it, but you do not depend on the tree. So it's very important that you live according to your understanding. If you get an understanding and then you file it in your file cabinet, what's the point? You have to live according to your understanding. And your understanding arises out of your contemplation. And your love for the contemplation is very important. Meaning that's your love for the truth, your love for God. Once you start loving God, you become loving God. You become loving God. You become the love. Oh, there is a question from Paula. Paula says, Magdi, I am not this body-mind, and yet there have been many visions of prior lives. Can you please explain what these visions are about? Yes, Paula. These visions are about the omnipotence and omniscience of consciousness, the omnipotence and omniscience of God. It's very important for you to understand that these visions are not Paula's visions. They are the visions of consciousness. As soon as you believe that these visions are visions of Paula, you're doomed. You're doomed to be mortal Paula, with a mortal life, with a present life and a future life and a past life. It's very important for you to understand that all life belongs to consciousness, all life belongs to God, all life belongs to awareness. It's the infinite presence. So these past lives that are arising for you, visions that you are having, Paula, it is consciousness revealing, allowing you to have a peek into it. It is showing you, revealing to you that it is omniscient, that is omnipresent, that it knows all lives. It shows you a peek in it for you to understand that you are not this limited personal body-mind. As you progress in your inquiry, as you get closer and closer to the divine, you will experience more and more of such events of synchronicity and transparency of minds, where you could effortlessly hear and perceive somebody else's thoughts across space and time. But there will be non-events. They're not, oh wow, I want that, or they're just non-events, because once you get closer to God, you know that you are this eternal presence, this infinite, omniscient and omnipresent presence, beingness. So it's no surprise that I can sometimes know your thoughts. Consciousness, after all, is the only reality. And these thoughts that you believe are yours as Paula, are actually yours as consciousness. Consciousness thinks all thoughts, perceives all perceptions, senses all sensations. You are this consciousness. If you look directly at your experience, you will find that you are borderless presence. The thing about consciousness, which is quite amusing, because consciousness is very amusing, it's not boring. Whoa, same old day, same old day. It's not like that. Consciousness likes to play. And the main play that consciousness plays is the play of forgetfulness. So consciousness creates all creations. It creates a Magdi, it creates a Paula, it creates a Lynn, it creates all creations. And it imagines that this creation is independent of it. So it's like God creates Adam and Eve and forgets, plays the game of forgetting that he is the creator. So then consciousness as Adam thinks that, oh, I am Adam and God is something else or somebody else that I need to get back to, not realizing that all along Adam and Eve are made out of God, are the substance of Adam and Eve, the substance of all experiences, of all thoughts, and all perceptions is God. And so our sense of separation is consciousness forgetting itself in a way, as a separate Magdi and a separate Lina and a separate Len, etc. And then consciousness plays the game of remembering. It starts to remember, oh, wait a minute, maybe I am not a separate Magdi, maybe I'm not a man, but wait a minute, what am I? Consciousness plays the game of becoming interested in finding out the truth. As if consciousness needs to find out the truth. After all, consciousness is truth. But hey, we love the movies, don't we? We love the movies, we love the theater, we build those huge, in every city is a huge theater. The Romans, the first thing that they built was those big theaters. Why? To have a play. So, in a similar way, consciousness plays the forgetfulness and then the remembering game. And now we are on the remembering path. We've already played the forgetfulness path, at least us who are here in this hangout. And now we are on the remembering. Huh? And at some point in time, then we'll be done with the remembering. Because when you arrive home, home, you don't need to remember where your home is anymore. You hang out on the couch, you watch television, you read a book, you have a cup of tea, whatever. We'll be done with the remembering. Then will be the next phase, which is the phase of celebration. When you're at home, you celebrate. You enjoy, you're happy. You have a nice conversation with your friends, with your family members, with your partner. And you read a nice book. You talk about the truth with friends who share that common love. So, Paula, I hope I answered your question. I think you will be able to, in the future Hangout, just figure out how to install the plugin. There is a plugin that you can install. It's on the Google Plus page in the bottom right-hand corner. If you go to Start a Hangout and you press that button, it will lead you to installing the plugin. I believe that is the way that we can see you and smile at each other. Well, it's very nice being with you. Very lovely, and nice to see you, Lynn and Lina, Ilse, and everybody else. Thank you. Blessings. Blessings.